Hi there, welcome to another video. So in this video, we are finding how to find out the nth term of the linear sequence. So in the exam, they give us a sequence. I'm going to start with the first example. So here the first example is having a term 3, 9, 15, 21, and 27. We're going to have a look to the sequence to find out the rule of the sequence. So the rule of the sequence is that what is the connection from the first term to the second term, from the second term to the third term, or so on in the whole sequence. So I'm going to see that every time we are adding plus 6. This is the increasing sequence, and every time we are adding plus 6. So 3 plus 6 makes 9. When you do plus 6 and 9, you get 15. 15 plus 6 gives 21, and 21 plus 6 is 27. So from here, we know that the rule of this sequence is adding 6 each time. Now in the exam, they could even ask you to find out that the next 3 terms of the sequence. So we have got the first 5 terms of the sequence given already, and they ask us to find out the next 3 terms of the sequence. So to find out the next 3 terms of the sequence, we'll be following the same pattern of adding 6 each time to get the next term. So clearly we can see if I add 27 plus 6, it would be 33. And then 33 plus 6 would be 39. And when you do 39 plus 6, you get 45. So the next 3 terms of the sequence are 33, 39, and 45. So I'm going to write down next 3 terms are, and you're going to write down the terms that you have found already, which is 33, 39, and 45. So the next thing which the examiner possibly could ask to find out the nth term of the sequence. To find out the nth term of any linear sequence, so you start with the rule first. So from here, we know that the rule is to add 6 each time. You begin by writing down 6n. Now, once you have written 6n, to go on to the first term, what you're going to do in this 6 to get 3. So you do minus 3 into it. Because if you take n equals to 1, you can even check your answer that what you have found out the n term is correct or not. So when you sub in n equals to 1 in here, you should get the first term. When you sub in n equals to 2 in here, you must get the second term. N equals to 3 must give you the third term. So you can even check it. I'm just showing you the checking on the side. So we know that the n term of the sequence we have found is 6n minus 3. To check that, the fourth term supposed to be 21, I'm going to take n equals to 4 in this one. So subbing n equals to 4 into it would give us fourth term of this sequence would be 6 times 4 minus 3. So simplifying it would be 6 times 4 is 24 and minus 3 would give 21, which we know that 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fourth term of this sequence is 21. You can even check by using the second term, you can check by using the first term, or so on. So we know that now the n term of this sequence is 6n minus 3. Another possible exam question could be that to find out this n term actually gives us to find out any term in the sequence. So maybe if they ask you to find out the 100th term of the sequence, so which means that your n is 100 and you're finding out the 100th term. So you're going to replace your n with the 100, which would be 6 times 100 and then minus 3. Simplification would be when you do 6 times 100 would be 600 minus 3. And when you do 600 minus 3, you'll come out with 597. So the 100th term of this sequence is 597. Following that, you can find out any term in the sequence. You can find out the 10th term, you can find out 20th term, you can find out 1000th term of the sequence by replacing n with the number you're finding out. Now I'm going to show you with the next example. So here's another example that we have got the first 5 terms of the sequence, this arithmetic sequence, and it's minus 3, 1, 5, 9, and 13. First thing we're going to do is to find out the rule, which helps us to even find out anything. So the rule of this one is we're going to see that this is an increasing sequence. because this is an increasing sequence, so every time we'll be adding some number into it. To find out what number we'll be adding into it, it's easy to see with the positive number. So in 1, how many numbers you add to make 5 would be plus 4. We'll be continue with the same pattern. So 5 plus 4 gives 9. 9 plus 4 makes 13. And then minus 3 plus 4 would give 1. So now the rule of this sequence is to add 4 each time. Okay. Now in this one, if they're asking us to find out the nth term of the sequence, so as I said that the first thing to find out the nth term of the sequence of any sequence is to find out the rule first. Here we know the rule is adding 4 each time. So you're going to write down 4n. Now you see that to go from 4 to minus 3, what number you add or take away so you get minus 3. So I'm going to write it down on the side. Just ignore n from here. So in 4, you'll be adding or take away some number that you get minus 3. So 4 is a bigger number and we are going towards the smaller number. So definitely we'll be take away some number. So in 4, what number we're going to take away so we get minus 3? You can even use a number line to see that this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is minus 1, minus 2. I'm going to continue minus 3 and minus 4. Now I'll be starting from 4 and I have to go until 3. So I'll be starting from 4 and going until 3 to see that what direction we are going. Definitely will be going in the backward direction. Because we are going in the backward direction, it means that we will be having a minus sign. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it means when you do 4 take away 7, you'll get minus 3. So it means your nth term of the sequence would be 4n minus 7. Now again, you can check it by subbing any term into it. So if I check for the second term, so when I sub in n equals to 2 in here, I must get 1. I'm going to show you how you can check the nth term. So because we are having the nth term of the sequence, I'm going to write it down here. So as we have found out, the nth term of the sequence is 4n minus 7. Now checking for the second term, your n would be 2. So I'm going to write down now the second term would be when I replace the n with the 2 and then following the operation. So 4 times 2 makes 8 and 8 minus 7 gives 1. So the second term of this sequence must be 1. Going back to it to see that, yes, it is 1. It means the n term formula that we found out is correct. Now, because now we know the n term of the sequence, they could ask to find out the 10th term of the sequence. So here I'm writing down the part B to find out the 10th term of the sequence. So to find out the 10th term of the sequence, you need to replace n with the 10. And then there's minus 7. You do the simplification, which is 4 times 10 makes 40, and minus 7 would be 33. So the 10th term of this sequence would be 33. Now, another possible question could be, they give you the term, for example, they ask you, is 101 a term of the sequence? All right. So we don't know what the sequence numbers we are getting. So we are having minus 3, 1, 5, 9, 13, and it will continue. They want to see that they are asking, is 101 be the part of this sequence or not? So we're going to check for 101 and see that, is this be the part of the sequence or not? So whenever we are having the n term, it's always be the integers, the positive integers. So when I say the positive integers, it means it means that the value supposed to be, the n values must be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So now I'm going to check that is 101 is a part of this sequence or not. So to check whether is this the part of this sequence or not, you're going to replace this with your n term. So we're going to write down with the n term formula, which would be 101 equals 4n minus 7. You rearrange it to solve to find out the n value from here. So this is minus 7. The inverse of minus 7 would be plus 7 on both sides. And when you're going to do that, it would be 108 equals 4n. Now you're going to divide by 4 again on both the sides to solve it further. So you divide by 4 on both the sides. And the next step would be, when you do 108 divided by 4, you'll get, what you're going to get is, you'll be getting 27. So you are getting the n value is 27. Because as I said that the n value is supposed to be a positive integer, and 27 is a positive integer, which shows clearly that 101 is a part of the sequence. So once you continue doing this sequence, you will get at some point 101 as a part of the sequence. Okay. I'm going to show you with the next example now. Okay, so having this example, what do we see that now? We are having a sequence which is a decreasing sequence this time. So the terms of the sequence is, the first term is 35, the next is 31, then we are having 27, and then 23. Okay. What we are finding out, the few things in this question is, the first thing I'm finding out is the nth term. So the first thing we are finding out is the n term of the sequence. Then the next term we are finding out is, for the part B, finding the next two terms of the sequence. And the last thing that we are finding out is 100 a term of the sequence? All right. Now, to begin for the first one, now finding the n term, the first thing we need to know that is, what is the rule of the sequence? Clearly, we see that it is a decreasing sequence, because when you're going from the first term to the second term, or from the second term to the third term, or from the third term to the fourth term, the number are getting smaller. So how much is it going to be smaller by? So 35 take away 4 would give 31. Then from 31, when you do minus 4, you would have further this, and you would get further this as well. Now, to find out the n term of the sequence, what you can do is, you start by writing down whatever the rule is. So the rule is minus 4 each time. You start with minus 4n. Now, we ignore the n for now, and what we are having is minus 4. In minus 4, you're going to add or take away some number that you get the first term to be 35. So we see that now from minus 4, we are going to the bigger number. It means we having some positive number to add on then. So in minus 4, when you're going to add plus 39, you'll get 35. So minus 4 plus 39, you would have 35. So it means the n term of the sequence would be minus 4n plus 39. This is the n term of the sequence. Once you get the n term of the sequence, this is that. Now the next part is to find out the next two terms of the sequence. Now to find out the next two terms of the sequence, you continue with the same pattern of by doing minus 4 each time. So when you do 23 minus 4, you would have 19. And when you do 19 minus 4, you would get 15. So the next two terms of this sequence would be 19 and 15. Now to check for the last one now, that is 100 is a part of this sequence or not, we're going to use the n term formula, replacing the n term with 100 and finding out the n value from there. So whenever we are finding out the n value, it must come out with a positive integer. So if it come out with a positive integer, we say that it is the part of the sequence. If it come out with some decimal number, then we say that it does not exist in the sequence. The number 100 will not be existing in the sequence. So I'll begin with the first thing now, because now we have to replace the n term with 100. So we'll be having minus 4n plus 39. We're going to solve for n now. To begin with that, we'll do minus 39 on both the sides. So when you do minus 39 on both the sides, the next step would be you do 100 take away 39. So 100 take away 39 would be 61. And then on the other side you're having is, them two would cancel out and you'll be having minus 4n. Now we see that is, we are having minus 4 with n. So to get rid of this minus 4, you divide by minus 4 on both the sides. And when you divide by minus 4 on both the sides, you'll get this, the left-hand side, to be a decimal number. So you would be getting 61 divided by minus 4. You will be getting some negative number. And because you're getting the n value is negative decimal, therefore, you write down the final step that 100 is not in the sequence. You show with the number that what number you're getting. And as I said, that n must be the positive integer. And we are getting here is a decimal and a negative number. Therefore, 100 is not the part of the sequence. This is the whole explanation on how to find out the n term of the sequence, how to get the next 2, 3, or 4 terms of the sequence, how do we find out the rule of the sequence, and we check either the number exists in the sequence or not. So I hope this video you have found it useful in understanding the n term of the linear sequence. And I hope you keep on watching the videos to have good understanding and increase your maths knowledge.